All right, good morning to everyone under the sound of my voice. I'd like to specially welcome you once again to the 15th edition of the NYSC essay writing competition and symposium. Today we are having the National Symposium, and as I informed you earlier, we saw them walk in fully kitted. Our 6 finalists will be coming here to defend the essays they have written. But before we call them up and hand the microphone over to them, this side of the room is meant for those who have been appointed to direct the affairs of today's occasion. As we all know, all of us here are very special. You'll see that it is not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that is in this room. Okay? It's either you are a core member or you are an invited guest. And for every core member here, you are here because you have been specially invited. Whether verbally or orally or any other, if you know, you know. Whether leronly or laggingly. Yeah. You have been invited, and that's why you are here. So I want to welcome you once again. And
with practical approaches to solving complex development challenges, Abuja, where it translates research solutions. He's also the founder of the Model National Assembly, MNA, an initiative equipping young people with practical legislative and policy-making skills. Passionate about Africa's development, Ayodele designs scalable initiatives, supports venture operations, and collaborates with public and private sector stakeholders to develop policies, programs, and solutions that create lasting systemic impact. Ladies and gentlemen, jam your blessed hands together as we present to you Ayodele Oloko.
Thank you very much, everyone. Start me. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my distinguished chairman of the ceremony, the General Secretary of Bible Society of Nigeria, also the Lieutenant General Secretaries, and the State Coordinator of NYSC Lagos State, Nigeria. This morning, I would like to present to you the key arguments of my paper titled Democratic Accountability, Harnessing Technology for Electoral Reform, Good Governance and Sustainable National Development. And I would love to start by telling a story that is quite popular among the Christian community. It's one that I probably had while growing up in Sunday school, or one place or the other, or maybe your pastor was teaching a sermon, or maybe your personal study into the Bible. And it's the story of the master and his servant and how he gave them talent. So, the story. A master who had servants was traveling. And before he left, he called his servants and entrusted his possessions to them. To one, he gave 5 talents. To another, he gave 2. And to another, he gave 1. And then he left. When the master eventually returned, he called his servants to account. And what is striking about that story is that he did not ask them simply, what did I give you? Or where's what I gave you? He already knew what he had given them. So he asked, what did you do with what I gave you? I think that question is more than a biblical lesson about stewardship. I think it's a question about democracy, because every election is an act of trust. When I cast my vote, when I put my finger on that ballot paper, I'm not simply choosing a name on a ballot. I am entrusting someone with public resources, with institutions, with law, with the power to make decisions that affect whether my child goes to a functioning school, whether my mother finds medicine in a public hospital, whether the road outside my house is constructed. Trust me, I have experience of that. I live in a place called Lugbe in Abuja, and trust me, every day going back home, I'm sad, because on the bike taking me home, it's a gallop. It's a roller coaster of emotions. And my house is, and whether the taxes I pay actually translate into public value. And there is something interesting about Nigerian democracy. We are very good at asking, who did you vote for? We are much less good at asking, what did the person you voted for do with what you gave to them? And what is the question at the end of the paper? Elections are events. Accountability is a system. Nigeria has made important investment in electoral technology, no doubt. Introduction of beavers was significant because it demonstrated that technology could reduce the distance between what happened at the polling unit and what was eventually transmitted and tested. And there is evidence that Nigeria's electoral technology journey has been evolving. Before the 2023 elections, international observers highlighted the potential of BVAS and the INEC result viewing portal, IREV portal, to improve results, transparency, while also warning about issues such as equipment reliability, training, and connectivity. But I want to also ask a simple question. What happens after the result is declared? Because democracy does not end when the votes are counted. That is when another process begins. The government must govern, budgets must be implemented, contracts must be awarded, hospitals must function, schools must receive funding, roads must be built, and citizens must be able to ask, where did the money go? That's an important question must be able to ask. Where did the money go? That is where I believe Nigeria has a fundamental gap. We have increasingly sophisticated technology for the moment of choosing leaders, but we do not yet have an equally sophisticated integrated system for monitoring what those leaders do with the power we give entrusted to them. Now, this paper proposes an ecosystem, a framework I like to refer to as the digital accountability ecosystem. Digital accountability ecosystem. Note I mentioned ecosystem, not a product, not technology, not platform, not an application. I think we have enough of disjointed applications already. It is high time that we find a way to consolidate these platforms into something we call the digital accountability ecosystem. I am proposing a system in which technology connects different parts of governance cycle, from elections, from the day the leader is elected down to the day they finally leave office. Think about it like this. When you order food on an app, you can see the restaurant, you can see the price, you can see the rider, you can see the location, you can see where the food has been picked up, you can see when it is arriving, you can even rate the service. Then there is no reason, there is a reason that works. The transaction is visible. Now imagine applying that principle to public spending. You have been able to ask, what was budgeted? Who received the contract? Where is the project? How much has been paid? How much has been delivered? Who inspected it? And what do citizens say about the outcome? Now, there are 6 pillars of the digital accountability system. First is the electoral integrity infrastructure. We build on BVAS with stronger systems for result verification, citizens reporting, and electoral transparency. I suggest that the Nigerian government takes a page out of the Indian government's book, where they have something called the e-vigil, which allows citizens to report irregularities in what is counted at their polling units, and what is at the moment does not allow for that. All you can just see is, if you said that your polling unit and a different number is uploaded, or if it's not uploaded at all, there's nothing you can say about it. But the e-vigil used in India allows you per time, if you see irregularities between what was recorded at your polling unit and what is uploaded, you can report in real time. Second, open budgeting and digital procurement. Every major public contract should have a digital tray, from allocation to award, payment, and completion. Although this is already in existence with a platform called Budget, but I think that there's a lot of work that is needed to be done in collaboration with the government to ensure that this is actually accessible to every single citizen of the nation. Third, early 20s. Went to the same primary school, secondary school. Grace died last month. And how did she die? Grace has lived with asthma for over cost her life because our medical center did not have an oxygen tank to attend to her. Grace is my age mate, supposed to graduate university this year. Now, the hospital that has no drugs, the school without teachers, the road that destroys your car every rainy season, the power supply that determines whether a small business survives. So government performance should be measured where citizens can actually experience. What is proposed on this third pillar is that we report per time and say, this is not what it looks like in my area. And then there should be a channel where someone can actually attend to that complaint. It's not just remain as a complaint. Democracy in itself is a government by the people. This means that we are supposed to be involved in every cycle of it. It's not just every 4 years, 2023, 2027, 2031, I cast my vote and that's over. No, it's an active involvement. That's what democracy assembly. See, a lot of us don't know that. You can, if you're not satisfied that you're being represented by your lawmaker in the National House of Assembly, you can recall that person. That is what it should be. That you are able to have a civic technology and a civic participation where we can actually give proper feedback every day, every month within the 4 years tenure of a leader. The fifth is artificial intelligence for public accountability. We have emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can ensure that public spending can be properly tracked and also analyzed to check against irregularities, to ensure that, because that's truly, humans have their limitations, and there are certain things that humans can miss. But with the use of artificial intelligence, I believe strongly that that can be solved. And the sixth is blockchain for contract and asset verification. Is anything that blockchain has a technology that ensures that things are tamper-proof. Now you must understand that humans are, as long as humans are in the back end, we can't be sure that these things are tamper-proof. But with the use of blockchain, we can ensure that things that are uploaded, assets that have been declared, contracts that have been awarded are tamper-proof. Let me make this and let me bring this home for you. Imagine a young woman named Amaka. Amaka lives in a community in Enugu. Our local government announces that 200 million naira has been allocated for a healthcare center. Today, Amaka may hear about this through a politician, a radio announcement, or perhaps social media. Actually been paid, and if it is abandoned, who is responsible? Now, imagine Amaka can take out her phone. She searches for the project. She sees their location. She sees the contractor. She sees the location. She sees the contractor. She sees the location. She sees the implementation timeline. She sees the photograph of the project. And if the system say project is 90% complete, but Amaka can see that only the foundation has been laid, she can report the discrepancy. That is what I mean by making governance visible. And visibility changes behavior. Because when people know they are being watched, measured and evaluated performance becomes consequential. We already have proof of that information. We already have proof that information can change behavior. There is an important lesson from Uganda. A landmark study by Riva Rinkanthe and Jacob Stevenson found that when information about school grants was publicly published, the diversion of information about school grants was publicly published, the diversion of those resources fell dramatically. Technology is not magic. I want to say that as Nigeria, we must not over-romanticize technology, because statistics show that over 50% of us still do not have access to the internet technology. Now, how do we get them to participate in digital governance? We must ensure that we do not digitally exclude these people. Imagine most of this information be put out in English. We must ensure that they are contextualized for our context's sake. Now, finally, as I said earlier, democracy is government for everyone. In the words and in the song, I may say, of the great legend, Grammy-nominated King Sunny Ade. He has a song, and if you know it, you can sing along with me. It says, Nigeria ti gbogbo wa ni, kò má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́, torí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè lọ, àjò lè dàbí ilé, ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan, gbé kémi gbé. Now, my recommendations are: government must establish the legal and institutional framework for digital accessibility, and young Nigerians must resist the temptation of cynicism, because it is very fashionable to say Nigeria cannot change, but cynicism is easy. Building institutions is hard. Saying they are all the same requires no imagination. Building a platform that makes them answerable requires imagination, technical capacity, and persistence. And that is the choice before my generation. You can complain about broken systems, or we can build systems that are harder to break. Thank you very much.
Let somebody give the Lord a big, big hand of praise. If you are not a hard worker, you will labor in life. If you know, you know. All right, let's give it up for Ayodele Oluwaseyi Oloko. Yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. And while that was going on, The chairman of today's program came into the room. I told you earlier that he's a lover of young people. And of course, as the GS told us earlier, in spite of everything, he ensured that he joined us even in this event. Please join me once again to welcome Barrister Dele Adesina, SAN. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir.
You are doing. The client forgot that he was in a courtroom. He was doing like this. He was doing like this in the courtroom. And by the time we came out, I was still a pupil counsel, serving pupillage. I'm talking of the 80s. So he was bringing me to the office in his car. That tells you I had no car at that time. He was bringing me to the office with his car, and we started talking. He said, today was very, very brilliant in court. That was very good. Blah, 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 blah. I'm proud of you. I said, thank you very much, sir. He said, by the way, why are you not running your own chambers? I said, I had a clear idea about the chambers I want to run. That I don't want to run a room and parlor office. I want to have an office in a business center. He said, go and look for a suitable place. I will pay. Allen Avenue. And he settled almost idle men end up as spectators. Idle men ends up as spectators, but hard-working men end as mountain climbers. Let's be hardworking in whatever we do. And by the grace of God, I pray you get employment as early as possible. And God will locate an advantageous place for you to work. Please, the way you work there may also determine how far you are able to go. Some people will be playing truancy and all that. If you cannot work well for somebody else, you may not be able to work well for yourself. You may not be able to work well for yourself. You can also say unemployment is everywhere. But are you sure that God cannot make a difference out of you? And He will give you employment as early as possible. I pray God will do that for you. In the name of Jesus. May I finally say that your picture determines your future. What picture of yourself do you have? Now you are among the selected, the favored youths. National Youth Service Corps. You will soon finish. And by the time you finish, nobody can pass you for just anybody on the street. Nobody. But by the grace of God, after this program, you can even begin from now, begin to have a picture of a successful man and woman, of an outstanding person. It was a picture I shared with you the other time, after the conversation with the fellow who wanted to know whether I was the son of Chief Adesina from Ijebode. I immediately caught a picture. I said that man is likely to be a successful person. A time is coming when, if somebody announces himself or herself anywhere, they will ask him, are you the son or daughter of Dele Adesina? I caught that picture. And it came to pass. So, have a big dream. Have a picture of what you want to be. And let that picture be a guiding light to the step you take, to the words you speak, and you will get to that destination. There is a future for you. God will make an exception out of you from all the roughness that is going on the streets of Nigeria. It's very, very baffling. Nigeria doesn't need to disintegrate to this level when we begin to see children that we cannot rely on that these people will be the leaders of tomorrow. No. But God will make an exception out of you and out of those that believe in their future like you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. God bless you.
I think we can do that better. You can do it better. Barrister Dele Adesina, thank you very much once again for those golden words. I call them golden because it's not found everywhere. And for those who may want to know, he is the principal partner for Dele Adesina LP, and he was formerly the General Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association. Okay, so it's an SAN, by the way, in case I omitted that. How many of us heard what he said? Show of hands. I heard him. Okay. Now, in times like this, we usually have three people or three set of people. Some who will say they are saying their own. Some others who will hear it and say, I will start tomorrow or when I finish my NYSC. And another set that will say, oh, this man has just said something I need to start working on now. So the question is, Of these three categories, which of them do you belong? No, it's rhetorical. Okay. I would have asked that maybe one or two persons will recount what he said. Just what are you taking away? Tell me. But I don't need to do that because we have so many people here and our time is precious. So we don't want to take too much of it. However, what are you going to do with what you have had? Will you dismiss it? They have come again. These older people, they will not allow us to rest. Or will you note it and say, in 1 year's time, I will start? Or will you start immediately? Next on my list is Samuel Oluwaseyi Ifeyemi. Let us put our hands together for him as he comes up to give us his presentation. Can we have
Oluwajuwon Oluwafemi is a finance graduate of the University of Ilorin and a versatile professional with interest in finance, research, Christian apologetics, youth development, writing, and entrepreneurship. He currently serves with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, Gombe State, as a National Youth Service Corps member, an alumni analysis and product design, and serves as a mission mobilizer volunteer with Mission Enablers. He is passionate about equipping young people through knowledge, communication, and purposeful leadership, and is currently working on his first book. Samuel aims to build a career in finance and financial analysis, leveraging his skills in financial management, data analysis, research, and strategic thinking, and contribute to sustainable economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, jam your blessed hands together as we present to you Samuel Oluwajuwon Oluwafemi.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning once again. Distinguished members of the panel, our distinguished guests, officials of the Bible Society of Nigeria, fellow finalists, ladies and gentlemen, good day. Let me begin with a question. If we say the public resources of the nation belongs to the citizen, why do citizens find it difficult to know how these public resources are being used? Imagine a Nigeria where a citizen you can use his mobile phone at the comfort of his home and know about a project going on in his community, how much was budgeted for it, who the contract was given to, and whether at the end of it the contract was completed or not. Also, I want you to imagine a Nigeria where election can be transparent and also where technology can be used to verify voters and give citizens greater confidence in the electoral process. This is the opportunity before Nigeria. My name is Samuel Oluwajuwon Oluwafemi, and the topic of our essay is democratic accountability, harnessing technology for electoral reforms, good governance, and sustainable national development in Nigeria. My argument is simple. Technology can strengthen democratic accountability, but technology alone cannot create accountability. It must work together with strong leadership, democratic accountability, active citizens, transparent governance, and strong institutions. Nigeria returned to democracy in the year 1999. And since then, with service delivery and declining public trust continue to affect governance and national development. So the question I want to ask is, how do we make democracy more accountable to the people? And this is where technology becomes important. Now, one thing I want you to understand is that Nigeria is not starting from zero. In our electoral system, we have what we call the BVAS, as popularly known as BVAS, the Bimodal Voters Accreditation System, which helps to capture the biometric and the facial recognition of voters. We also have what we call the Independent National Electoral Commission Result Viewing Portal, the IREV. And this helps us to be able to know election results when they are being released. Technology has also entered into our public financial management through technology such as the TSA, the Treasury Single Account, and also we have the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System, the GIF-MIS, and the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPPIS. So this innovation shows that technology can improve transparency, efficiency, and accountability. But there is an important limitation, which I want us to hold in mind. A digital platform can publish information, but people must be able to provide accurate information. A digital election system can also transmit results, but institutions must protect it. A government can produce expenditure data, but citizens and oversight bodies must examine and question what they see. So another question is, can technology provide this information? Yes, it can. But the deeper question that we are going to ask ourselves is, what happens after this information is being provided? Who is responsible to check it? Who responds to it? And who is being held accountable? And that is why I have a framework which I call the Digital Accountability Framework. Now, it is not just about technology alone, but also about institution. Now, this framework which I have designed is interconnected in 4 pillars, which I'm going to explain. Now, the first pillar is transparent elections. Now, elections is what we know in Nigeria or in democratic system of government to determine who receives political authority. Now, this will help us to be able to have credible, verifiable leaders. I want to use an example of a nation called Estonia. Now, in Estonia, they've been able to use digital identity and online voting. Just like our chairman was saying earlier about the Osun State election, where a lot of lives were lost in the process. Now, I've come to understand that if these elections were carried out online, or a system is being designed for these elections to be done online, there would not be reason for rigging. There will not be reason for lives being affected, just like this country. So, but as a result of we not being able to do this online, it has caused loss of lives, rigging during elections, and stolen ballot papers. So, this is a lesson Nigeria is supposed to learn from Estonia. My second pillar is transparent governance. Now, accountability of what are they doing? The question should move into what was budgeted, just as I said earlier. How was the project executed? To whom was the project given to? And how much was spent for it? And with this, I will propose what I call the National Open Governance Dashboard, which will serve as a public window into government budgets, procurement, and expenditure. And with this, we are going to look at a country called Denmark. Denmark, for example, has developed what we call a high integrated digital governmental system. And in 2025, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Digital Government Index scored Denmark above their average, including strongly in governance, to also understand that transparency also have limits. That means if we are saying the government should bring to the public whatsoever they are doing, this transparency also have limits. This relates to information as touching national security, legitimate investigations, personal privacy, and other matters protected by law should be confidential. Now, this principle is simple. It is what citizens have a legitimate right to know should be accessible. Technology can help monitor, so there must be the need to provide what we call secondary school. There's a favorite topic that I love so much in civic education: political apathy, touching politics. And it's because of the wrong things that has been going on in our political system today. So ever the government is doing. Now this leads me to the last pillar: ethical leadership. And this stands as the foundation to democratic accountability. Now the Bible will say in Proverbs 11 verse 14 that where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is what? There is safety. So public office is a trust. Public resources are a trust. Those entrusted with them must remain accountable. And will also cost what we call 15 billion euros. So Nigeria can learn from this approach and adapt it to our system. So number 3, the third action is strengthening of citizens through digital literacy, media literacy, and civic education. And fourth, strengthen the people behind management, the GIMFIS, IPPIS. So what we need, the logic is simple. Transparent elections determine how leaders emerge. And ethical leadership determines how responsibly power is being used. So when these 4 work together, technology, democratic accountability ecosystem. Thank you very much.
But bro, you galvanize people come here. Because one way that they clap for you, I know you not claim me again, no. All right, that was a good one. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, before we go on, let me quickly remind us that the first bell is 5 minutes, second bell 2 minutes. And to the people behind it, why your bell can't they sound like rapture? But it's just to let you know that you have 2 minutes to go. So in case you still have 1 or 2 things, it doesn't mean you should just rush and leave. Let me quickly introduce to us past participants at this event, those who have been part of this, who have done this in years past. One of them is Chikama Naji. Where is she? Oh, is he? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. I don't know if Ochuko Ngbada is there. Okay. All right. So that takes me to my next question. Yes. I know some people did not be listening, but the question, they want to listen to that one. It's okay. That's why we are here. So the question is, please help me just look around the room. In what year, are you listening? In what year did the Bible Society of Nigeria start the NYSC essay writing competition? Mathematicians will be, don't give me chorus answer, I will cancel it.
15 years ago.
What year? That's how to know those of us that don't like numbers.
Ability, harnessing technology for electoral reforms, good governance, and sustainable national development in Nigeria. So please, I want to enjoy you to follow me on this as I take you on this very journey. Okay, are we together? Now, since our transition to civilian rule in 1999, Nigerians has constantly, employed discussions that borders about enduring democratic governance. And the one thing that keeps on coming is the issue of democratic accountability. And now I define democratic accountability as, it simply means that those entrusted with public power and resources are answerable to the citizens from which their mandate is derived. Now, when there's absence of this particular feedback loop, governance deteriorates, corruption thrives, and sustainable development stagnates. It is important to know that historically, the system, the primary and basic mechanism that holds people accountable in terms of electoral integrity is the electoral umpire, which has actually faced a lot of challenges in Nigeria, which range from manual manipulation, ballot box snatching, result falsification, and systemic logistical failures. These things do not only end in electoral circles. They tend to erode public trust in public institutions, and which eventually creates apathy among the people. Now, if these things are left unchecked, the society ceases to operate, everything breaks down. But we thank God for the advent of the technology. In the 21st century, technology has given us an option that we can be able to use, to institutionalize democratic accountability. Now, over the years, the system has come up with a lot of technologies that, if properly used and utilized, we can actually address the issue of democratic accountability. Now, the issue of accountability from the perspective of the scripture and the secular world, I want to come this way. Stephen Rose and Barry Mitnick in 1973 posed that they actually came up with a theory, which is the principal agent theory, which posits that the citizens, who are the principals, elect or appoint government officials, who are the agents, to govern on their behalf. Now, for this relationship to be effective, there must be absolute transparency and a robust mechanism for the principal to monitor, reward, or sanction the agent. And if at all the agent acts with impunity, possessing information that is actually only for, kept only for him, this contract is said to be violated. And so there's every need for the enforcement of accountability. This is no different from what the Bible tells us in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2. The Bible says, moreover, it is required in stewardship that a man be found faithful. Proverbs 29 verse tells us that if the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But if a wicked man rules, the people groan. It therefore simply means that for every democracy to endure, there must be people that are held very much accountable for every system to thrive. Now, I want to come from the angle of election. No, you must understand that the integrity or the credibility of any democracy rests entirely on the credibility of its electoral process and the processes utilized to organize the popular will. Nigeria has made significant strides, just like I said. The introduction of BVAS, the bimodal voters accreditation system, and the INEC result viewing portal, the IREF. These things were brought up to address two particular issues. The issue of identity theft, which is multiple voting, and results falsification or manipulation during collation. Now, in previous elections, the BVAS has actually functioned very well. It works by verifying voters using both fingerprints and facial recognition. It has actually done very well and has actually fought the issue of multiple voting, making sure that the foundational principle of democracy of one man, one vote has been well respected. But issues have arisen because of the failure to upload real-time results in real time. That's where the IRF has actually not been able to do that. Now, if we really want to move forward as a nation, we must look beyond this current technology and adopt high-level technology, specifically example for like blockchain. Blockchain by its design is it's an immutable, decentralized digital ledger. If INEC adopts, blockchain-backed protocol, that means every vote cast at the polling unit becomes an encrypted data that is sequentially linked to a block of chain, which cannot be easily altered, which cannot be manipulated or overridden by any individual, hacker, or any politician. And by doing this, it makes sure that we obey what the Bible, we fulfill the prophetic mandate in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 24, where the Bible says, "Let justice flow like a river, and righteousness overflow like an ever-flowing river." Now, this can be possible only when we actually make sure that the systems are free from human interference. Are we together, please? Now, the issue of good governance. Technology is very much important in our everyday governance because it is not only fashionable. We don't bring all this in so that we can make our work, okay, we are working with technology, today everything is fine. No, that's not the reason. We must understand that our day-to-day activities as a government is shrouded in secrecy. There is no transparency whatsoever. But then you see, bringing up technology into the system introduces transparency by making sure, everything is well documented, printed digitally, and accessible for everybody to be able to monitor. Areas like procurement, that is contracts, payroll administration, revenue tracking, and service delivery are areas where we can actually adopt technology and we can move forward. I want to introduce you to a very important concept, the Open Contracting Data Standard. It's a globally recognized framework that stores contracting data, making it accessible for everybody to see, and then you follow everything throughout the procurement cycle. Now, the OCDS, that's the short form for the Open Contracting Data Standards, works in a way that it does not only give you access to contracting data, but then it's actually user friendly. You engage with it from the period of planning for the contract, the bidding, people that actually applied, people that won the contract, how much was paid to the contractor, and all those things you'll be able to follow it throughout this particular process. Now, by doing this, we no longer allow accountability to be detected or be depicted by formal audits that comes later when everything has been done. The OCDS actually helps you. It gives you a platform to be able to follow the implementation cycle, everything from the beginning to the end. And so if there's any need for you to call to action why things should be done differently, you can do that. That is the beauty of the OCDS. This is very important in Nigeria because historically we know that people are not privy to contract information. These things have been, vulnerable to alert capture, and this is the digital integration. We have the national identity number. By the time we link this to, databases, population records, population records, and welfare of the citizens, it becomes very much easier for us to know who lives where, what this person needs, and then how we can access him. Nigeria has a very weak, database that has to do with information of the population. By the time we aggregate this information through, and then we link them with our national identity number, we're able to know, okay, this person in KB State needs this particular help. And so it reduces the chances of giving aid to people that do not necessarily need it. We basically all need help in Nigeria, but then there are people that are very much in these needs. Please, are we together? So, by going this way, we are going to actually, institutionalize a lot of things that makes it easier for our nation to move forward. Now, that doesn't mean that as a nation, by the time we adopt these things, there won't be challenges. It's very documented that we still have a very wide gap when it comes to digital drive in Nigeria, digital education in Nigeria. I'm currently serving in KB, and I can tell you that the people over there don't really understand. They don't even know much about technology and all those things. Now, by the time we don't make effort to address these issues, we actually tend to even deepen this inequality. And so there's every need for us to go for sensitizations, for tech education, and all kinds of reforms. Now, one of the ways we can do this is the utilization of the National Youth Corpus in making sure that as they are deployed, they make sure they engage with community people and give them education, because the youth, as we all know, are the most adaptable segment of the society when it comes to digital compliance. Another issue is the issue of cybersecurity. Today, we all know how we face in this country. There are a lot of cyber crime going on. But then by the time we actually hand over all of our processes to technology, there are chances that we might lose everything to one particular person sitting somewhere that decides to hack our servers and bring them down. Now, there must be regulations set in place and legal frameworks that are put to defend all these things. There should be clear penalties for everybody that is, bent on. There should be clear penalties for everybody that is, bent on engaging and making sure that these things do not work. Civic education, voters' education is very, very critical. I wrote on the issue of apathy because we have a lot of people that are into political apathy. We must begin to engage them once again that this system still has hope. And by the time we do this, I assure you that we're going to move forward. Now, please, this is my final call. We can adopt technology, we can bring them on, but without integrity, these systems will not function. Now, even as we continue, even with the systems, without the systems rather, it is difficult to enforce integrity, because we have seen over the years that it is difficult for human beings, especially Nigerians, to comply with what we want. Now, these systems are here to enforce, whether you like it or not, they enforce how this thing should be. But then if we don't do this with integrity, it becomes so difficult for us to enforce this. And so I want to call upon us all, let's be compliant. As we work these systems, please, let's give in our all. Let's be people of integrity, and God will see us through. Thank you so very much.
Great. That was Victor. Did you do nursing education? Because when your profile was read, it was something nursing I heard. But when you came here, you were sounding like a teacher. You ensured he carried everybody along. Are we together? Wow, that was good. Well done. Permit me at this point to introduce to us the LGI, NYSC LGI, Mrs. Ojimi. Ah. Okay now. Corpus wheel. Corpus wheel. You know, I looked around the room. Some people did not clap well. We will mark you absent. You did not come today. You're welcome, madam. It's nice to have you. All right. Permit me to quickly say this, because the other time I was joking about the date NYSC started, so that you don't go out and, think it's 2011. It's not 2011. Such mathematics don't happen that way. It started 2012. Yeah, you can't. The first edition was 2012. Second one, 2013. You want to do maths for that one? It's not maths that will solve that one. All right. Another question. Are we together? This one. Please help me look around the room. The question is, are you with me? Okay. In what year? People who don't like dates and numbers, they leave the WhatsApp room. WhatsApp chat. In what year was the Bible Society of Nigeria founded? So many hands. We have been taking people from this side. Let's go to that side. My sister, this energy level will not be here. All right, it's up to, yes.
19.
My father.
Okay, 2000. 2008.
The chariots of Israel and the horsemen thereof. Well, at this point,
February 8th, 1966.
I don't even know if we should take that, because that hesitation was so long that is enough for anybody to consult anything. And come up with the answer. Oh, we should use VAR. Okay, let me consult VAR. This person quickly, because of our time. Permit me to invite to the microphone Okpeyemi Michael Shoretire. I hope I got that name correctly. Okpeyemi Michael Shoretire.
Michael Okpeyemi Shiti, digital literacy and IT support. He currently serves with the IT unit of the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. Certified and trained in cybersecurity, he has practical experience in areas including ethical hacking, penetration testing, network security, vulnerability assessment, and security operations. He has also trained participants in cybersecurity through the 3MTT program and contributed to digital literacy initiatives. Beyond technology, Michael is a writer, musician, and committed Christian who actively serves in various choirs and Christian fellowships. He is passionate about continuous learning, excellence, service, and using technology and knowledge to make possible. Michael Okpeyemi Shoretire.
As we mean by electoral reform, there are changes made to the election system to make it more credible and efficient. And good governance is a leadership that is transparent, accountable, and responsive to the citizens' needs. And what is sustainable national development is a lasting national progress which meets people's needs without harming the future or deepening inequality. And these four concepts forms a chain from citizen vote to credible election to accountable leaders to good governance to sustainable national development. And there is a feedback arc from sustainable national development back to citizen vote, because every successful democratic cycle makes the next one stronger. Break any link and the structure weakens. Nigeria link that breaks the most is the first one. The citizen vote is not leading to the credible election. Now, we have to understand the problem. What exactly is the problem? After voting has closed in 2023, independent fact-checking by Dubawa confirmed that barely 1/3 of polling unit results reached RF portal within the stipulated window. And in some states, the collected figures announced were different from the Beavers recorded figures that party agents were holding. When aggrieved parties took this matter to court, the court said the old law did not make electronic transmission a statutory obligation. The old law gave INEC discretion, and discretion in the wrong hand is the enemy of accountability. The 2023 failure was not a failure of machine. The Beavers worked, the RF worked. What failed was the institutional will to honor what the technology had already recorded. And from what we have seen, we've said that the problem is not the technology, but the character of those using the technology. Moving on to harnessing technology for electoral reform. In my essay, I drew a flowchart of what should happen after voting has closed. The Beavers create a record of accredited voters before results are counted. The presiding officer stamp, and the result is uploaded electronically. This flowchart is not a fantasy. It is the law, and the law requires it. The 2026 Art journey illustrated that passing the law was not easy. Some lawmakers wanted to keep the old wording, and civil society organizations protested. That is why we had a compromise that preserved manual fallback for genuine communication failure. But that fallback contained the most dangerous phrase in the entire act. The word communication failure was not defined. An electoral officer might decide to claim communication failure without showing a proof that it occurred. That's why in my essay, I recommend that INEC should define clear operational guidelines that define communication failure, and it must be certified, logged, and independently verified. The technological reform created by the law include the Beavers as the only method of verification, the reliable PVC cards, and that political parties must upload results electronically to the RF portal at least 21 days before any primary election. This reform must work hand in hand with technology that makes the law works better, which include pattern detection software, cryptographically verifiable vote logging, satellite internet service, and civil society institution rooms. All this we've mentioned does not suggest that the 2027 election will be problem-free, because this same legislative process that made electronic transmission mandatory also reduced the statutory election notice period from 360 days to 300 days, and also reduced INEC funding window from 12 months to 6 months. As the legal commentator observed that Section 60, subsection 3 is a guest admitted into Nigeria electoral process. The question is if we give it a seat at Nigeria permanent table or quietly show it the back door. Now, moving on to good governance. If our goal is good governance, what is needed is democratic accountability. In my essay, I do a map of Nigeria accountability system. At the center, we have democratic accountability. Connected to it, we have the Beavers and RF for election. We have the budget and tracker for budget tracking. We have the open treasury portal for payment transparency. We have the NIN for service delivery. And we also have the civil society situation room for real-time monitoring. This map, Nigeria already has this ecosystem. We already have the map. What is missing is not the tools, but every character at every node of the map who are awake, equipped, and unafraid to use these tools. And that's where we core members becomes critical. We are in the unique position to teach these communities about these tools, because we will not only empower them to choose their leaders, but also to ensure that the leaders govern very, very well. Moving on to sustainable national development. What leads to sustainable national development is electoral credibility. A nation cannot choose its right leaders where elections are chosen through process that the citizens do not trust. And a nation can, investors do not build factories in countries that election results are contested in court for years, and development partners do not commit to long-term programs in nations where the real winner of their last election is unknown. When elections are credible, citizens are more confident in democratic institutions, and the country becomes a more attractive place for long-term development and investment. Improving elections does not only improve politics, but also the economy and the nature's future. Then moving on to technology limitation bridge. A clear-eyed essay must not present technology as a silver bullet. Technology helps, but it has limitation. My first limitation is digital divide. Technology used by government cannot work everywhere equally. That is why we add a compromise that preserves manual fallback for genuine communication failure, but it can be abused if communication failure is left undefined. Number 2 is cybersecurity. A system that centralizes data or result transmission becomes a high-value target for a high-value target. A sufficient resource attacker can spoof transmission, can stage disruption, and can also hack the system. That is why number 2 is alert capture. When powerful people gain control of the system that's supposed to keep them accountable, just like a compromised vendor, a government hires a software company, and the software company secretly works with corrupt officials. Thereby, the technology becomes compromised. And the last one is institutional independence, which is the most important. The institution should be able to do its work fairly without being controlled by anyone, especially politicians. An electoral commission whose leadership owes its appointment to leader is supposed to regulate might deploy every available.
Technology must be viewed and results will reflect the will of the people. As I said, mandatory unique digital identifiers. And this allows any eligible citizen of Estonia to vote from anywhere in the world, as long as they vote during pre-specified electoral election times. And this is important because it has boosted public confidence in the electoral process, meaning that as a citizen, wherever I am in the world, I want to actively participate in the governance of my state. This is true democracy and true democratic accountability. In the last parliamentary election that was held in 2023, 51.1% of the total voters were actually people that voted online. And independent reviews of administration and security, because Mercy encourages us and reminds us that authority is not to oppress people, but to serve people. And to work humbly with God. Because if we remember that we are accountable to God, every leader will ensure that they do the right thing. And this is important. God said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 11, everything should produce after its kind. And my people, this is important because that is the order of nature. We cannot produce accountable leaders if we are not accountable. We have bad leaders because as Nigerians, an average Nigerian is bad. An average Nigerian is corrupt. What do we do in our offices? As CDS presidents, you embezzle funds. This is important. So democracy is accountability. Democratic accountability is a collective effort. Youth corps members across several states in Nigeria must realize that it is also our responsibility. There's a new CDS group called AI and Digital Literacy, for example. We can help bridge this gap by helping to educate market women how to get funds for their small and middle-scale enterprises. How can students that are still in school, how can they have access to NEL Fund, which is available online? These are methods by which you can help. We can report and document infrastructure that is failing or falling. And this is important. Ladies and gentlemen, every generation inherits a nation it did not build. But every generation will leave a nation behind that it has helped build. And eventually, every generation leaves a receipt. Every generation leaves evidence of what they did in their generation. So today I tell you that the destiny of Nigeria lies on your shoulders and my shoulders. Why we deploy technology to help enhance transparency? As hackers, as tech experts, do you build technology with ethical integrity? Many years from now, people will forget campaign slogans. Renewed hope, Nigeria will be okay. We'll probably forget by the time we are 70. We'll have to Google to remember. Many years from now, what we'll remember are the memories that our acts have instilled. The man who lost a wife because the hospital, the primary health care center was not equipped to help with her delivery. The person whose son was not able to go to school because they lacked funds and there was no public funds available for this. This is the receipt that will leave. This receipt is not stamped, it's not printed, but it will be embellished in the hearts of Nigerians. It will be told generations down the line. My question to you today, ladies and gentlemen, what receipts do you want to leave? Do you want to leave a record that states that you contributed to demolishing Nigeria? Do you want it to be told of you that when you were in that office, this is what you did? My name is Mayami Kwanlawale, and I decide to leave a lasting receipt that generations after me will see and bless God in my life. Thank you very much.
If you are doing that, give it up for him. Mayo Mikon Olawale. How many of us can feel the passion? You know, while he was talking, it was almost, I was looking at him that, bro, not follow. I don't feel carry somebody. You know, Risha, you see, go down, say, you people, you will hear word. Let's put our hands together for him once again. And like our chairman said earlier, he said, you know, if you work hard, your success, it may be delayed, but it will not be denied. Now, I said that to say this. My card may be delayed, but it will not be denied you. So his own may come earlier. And the Akwakoto Jeon, Yorubas will say, so the first masquerade that dance, we end up being a spectator. You get it? So my cards will come, huh? Don't worry. It's not audio card, it's real. And besides, what made you think my name is Barnabas? Because I think I introduced myself twice. I said my name is Shegun Obadari. He came here, I said Barnabas. If you had said David or Zacchaeus, I would say maybe he considered my height. But he didn't even go near. He went as far as Barnabas. Kilo Shele. All right, thank you very much, Mayo Mikon. Thank you. We can feel the passion. All right, I have one more question before I call our chairman to quickly come and do one or two things before he excuses us. Are you ready for that now? Okay. Please, can you change what is on the screen? I need you to give me the full names of at least two of these people, these 6 participants. Yes, who can do that? Yes, your hand first. Come. Take it away. I said take all these things away. Why are you? Oh. Okay, Mayo Mekun is out of the equation. Oh yeah. Take it away. My brother, you don't understand English again. My sister, come. Let's appreciate her.
The first person is John Faith Omotire, and the second one is Michael Misotire.
Okay, yes. Well, we'll give it to her. Yes. But the name is Shoretire, huh? The IT guy. All right, thank you very much. So you will also have the card. You will surely have it. Even though this is not fidelity, we keep our word. Yes. All right, at this point, yes, okay.
Thank you very much, MC. Like I said in the beginning, our chairman is very tight, but I'm glad a man of his word. He said, we are not Fidelity Bank, but we are Bible Society of Nigeria, and we keep our word. And we also work with people who keep their word. So he has to abandon so many things because of God and because of you. So we'll alter the program a little just for him to give his final remark. And then the finalists will be able to take pictures with him right on this podium before he takes his leave. Thereafter, we'll continue. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Ademola tell Omore Osi as God don't help him.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me use the language renewed hope, not in the sense that the politicians use it. At times you'll be surprised whether some of them even know the meaning of hope. But after listening to those lectures, particularly those that delivered their papers here when I was sitting, my hope for a greater Nigeria becomes very, very solid like a rock. I don't know what language to use. I'm so excited by the quality of the papers and the confidence with which they were delivered. And the contents of what they told us. One of them said, character is key and is more important than technology. I don't know whether the language is still true or not, that garbage in, garbage out is technology. And that emphasizes the issue of character. He gave examples. That you have IRF, that you have BVA and all that will not prevent a person from taking money behind. It's an issue of character. A whole professor has been accused of tampering with result elections. I won't mention the state, but I believe you know the state. I think the professor is still in prison today. That's not the kind of life we want to build. So education was not even enough to refine that character. So with what I've heard today, please, I've always, anywhere I have opportunity to say anything that has to do with events of this nature, I've always said that the totality of any man, and when you say any man, I'm using it in generic form, including the woman. The totality of any man is his character. When somebody mentioned your name and they say forget about it, let me give you 2 examples. A boy went for an interview and he faced the panel of interviewers. Of course, they will ask you, what are your names? By the time the fellow mentioned his name and his surname, they asked him, is this so from so and so place? He said yes. The people connected, without uttering any word to his hearing. It was like, this is not our candidate. He was asked to go. I don't want to mention his name. I don't want to mention his father. His father is late now. There was another interview. Somebody was there to face 5-man panel. And by the time she introduced herself and mentioned her father's name, they said to her hearing that this interview is over. The accountant will meet you to discuss with your salary. And then you tell us when you are resuming. Again, the name. The name of the father of both of them played very prominent role. And maybe some of them don't even know, or maybe none of them knew what their father did. So, when you talked about character as being preeminent in a man's life, you are saying the truth. It is my prayer that God will give us men and women of character who will not see Nigeria as a property to be acquired. Men and women of character who will sow seed and plan for a bigger tomorrow. Obama left the presidency of America after 8 solid years. He entered train back to Chicago. He entered train. These are all products of character and selflessness. Somebody wrote a book, although I questioned his reasoning because of my Christian background. He wrote a book, and he gave a sample or an example of a gentleman who visited Nigeria and took a cab at the airport. The cab took him to the hotel, and on the way to the hotel, they started talking. They become friendly, and the cab was now picking him every morning. And he gave a story that when God was creating the world, God was planting one resources or the other in the nations of the earth. He got to Europe, he planted one. Got to United States of America, planted another. The Caribbeans, Africa, and what have you. He said he got to Nigeria. He planted so many resources, not one. So many. Good weather, natural resources, oil, and what have you. The angels around God Almighty were wondering, but they still did not talk. They were waiting. When it was time to distribute disaster, again, God was said to be planting one thing or the other in one nation or the other. When he got to Nigeria, he bypassed Nigeria without a single disaster. And then the angels couldn't keep it anymore. They said, God, you told us to be fair and just. It's like this part, this place has a special place in your heart. When you were distributing resources, you gave them many. You gave other nations one. When you are distributing disaster, you gave other nations of the earth. You didn't, no single disaster. And where I disagree with the author is this. He said God told them that you wait. When I create the people I'm going to create there, he said their leaders shall be their disaster. He said it would be unfair of me to put another disaster there. But I disagree with the author because of my understanding that whatsoever God created was good. A good man can turn to be a bad man. I don't believe it is God Almighty that created us the way we are. But like I said, with this quality of lectures I've listened to, there's a future for us in this country. It is not my prayer that we will not become too old to accept that responsibility when it gets to our turn. And we should also begin to pray that it will actually get to our turn. There's another point that was made which I think should not be, I shouldn't end up without highlighting. And that is the act of being passive to the situations of this country. Life doesn't give anybody what he wants. Life gives you what you demand. We need to speak up. We need to hold our leaders accountable. We need to resist whatever is resistible. What is right, we accept and commend. But what is wrong, we condemn and protest. It is very important for us to do this and don't just sit down, whether it's good or it's not good. They said, Ogota, is a lie. When the owner of the job is tired, they will send the alaru away. And when you are out of the job, I want to see where you will get the pay. So I want to thank you for the quality of the presentations. And I want to thank you also for listening. You will please pardon me I just have to, otherwise I would have loved to be here to the very end of the program. But I do believe that whatever we as participants have had today will remain with us, will shape us, and will take us to higher heights. Thank you very much.
Tokwe, please come. Okay. All right, please come forward so that you can take pictures.
God don't help him. Then be fire arrow to me, see as God they block him.
Okay, members of the head table, please join them.
Sapa come for me, I survive now, I don't need visa. Oh, you oh. Ademola tell you, more see as God don't help him.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. We have known Ademola now. He has said something very germane, very important. Your participation. You don't get what you expect. You get what you inspect. If you know, you know. Yes. So if you don't participate, you are just in the comforts of your room. Look, a time will come. There will be how many of us remember when a ban was placed on Twitter in Nigeria? How many of us remember now? At least you have been born by that time. All right, so what I'm saying in essence is if you refuse to participate and we think that social media is our space where we just want to stay, a time will come, a law will outlaw that space. So your participation is what makes everything to work and to be in favor of everyone. Thank you very much once again. I missed your name. What's the name? Daniel. Wow. Thumbs up for you. Okay, we move on to take a comment from a charge from Pioneer participant. I believe Chikama Naji is ready for that. So in the next few minutes, I'll be... please come over. Let's put our hands together for her. She was once here, and now she's coming again to say something to us. I appreciate her now. Can't you see the glory?
Good afternoon, everyone. The CEO, the chairman of the occasion, CEO and executive of the Bible Society of Nigeria, the finalists, everyone here, ladies and gentlemen. Some opportunities are gold because they come fashioned out of the ordinary. In 2022, I was here like you. And so it's more like a homecoming being here. When Abraham Lincoln described democracy as government of the people, for the people, and by the people, he iterated a lesson in magnanimity. That is a relationship engineered by accountability to be forged between the electorate and the leaders. Sadly, in Nigeria, the calls for accountability from leaders by citizens is usually considered an affront that will be countered by power and military intervention. Reflecting on this powerful topic today, Plato's allegory of the cave comes to the fore. Technology is that light that paves way for electoral reforms, good governance, and sustainable development. It will curb malpractice, corruption, misinformation, voters' apathy, and transparency of processes. Technology, the 2026 NBA election happened this year. And if you followed it keenly, you see that lawyers were in the comfort of their home voting. And they were not just voting. I could hear my sister mention oh, so candidate has 4,000 votes, or while in the comfort of her home. It may not be perfect. The process may not be perfect, but it's a step what technology can do. Nobody will say, I didn't vote because I couldn't get there. They were all in the comfort of their home voting. And the recent calls by lawmakers and politicians to regulate the use of social media by the youth is a pointer that we've not fully embraced technological innovation in our political system. The cause rather should be ensuring media literacy for citizens and ethical journalism for proper information. And democratic leaders must view technology not as a distraction, rather as the government's third eye to beam light on areas where attention is needed, in the areas of duplicity of voters' registration, irregularities, and also take feedback from the 2 cents of Nigerians. So, my dear youth, in the era of money na water, let's not ask what the labors of our heroes past have yielded. Rather, how can I channel the technology and skills within my disposal for the democratic revolution, which gives us thorough accountability? Instead of ingenuity in Yahoo, and all the crimes, OnlyFans and the rest, let us start asking ourselves, the technology in our hands, what can we use it to do? And so, like Sebastian in Shakespeare's 12th Night, to the Bible Society of Nigeria, I have no other answer to make to thee but thanks, and ever thanks to thee. And I'd like to say that the laptop you gave me in 2022, that I'm still using it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Chikama Naji. She was here 2022. How time flies. All right. Next, I'll be calling on the representative of the NYSC State Coordinator. How many of us want to hear the announcement of the result today? It's okay. Thank you. Don't worry, it will be announced. Okay, welcome to the microphone, Mrs. Grace Osho, who is representing the NYSC's coordinator. You're welcome, ma'am.
The organizers of the program, all finalists, gentlemen, co-members, good afternoon this afternoon. Good afternoon this afternoon. Coppers, we oh, wow. Are you tired? Well, my name is Grace Osho. I'm the Assistant Director, Planning, Research and Statistics, NYSC Lagos. First of all, I want to congratulate the finalists for this great feast. They have come a long way, coming from Adamawa, Borno, right? Abuja, Gombe, no Lagos. You are even calling every adult, everybody seated here is involved in what we have been hearing. We have been so richly enlightened and informed about, the topic of today. There's no need going back into everything that has been said, but just to say that NYSC gives you a level playing ground to be able to build up your capacity, to be able to contribute back to your nation, and which is what they are doing now. So at your different spaces, when you are called up, there's nothing that happens in Nigeria. 99% NYSC identifies, every organization wants to identify with NYSC because of our widespread and also the integrity and that we are speaking with young minds. We are dealing with intelligent youths, people with innovative ideas, intelligent discussions, whatever you want to think about. These youths, these young people have it in all sectors of the economy. They are really well endowed and they are ready to go. Everyone, like I said, is involved in this governance, in this accountability. You first be accountable to what is it that you are being given, even as a core member, as a youth. Are you accountable to that which you have with you now? How can you defend it? How can you speak? Do you have integrity to hold up what you are being given, even at your places of primary assignment? It starts from now. Who are the operators of the democratic societies? Who are the members of the economy? Who is Nigeria? It's you and I. If you fail in any part of your discharge of responsibility, Nigeria has failed. Youths are the drivers of democratic accountability. When anything is happening, it is you that has the strength. The other people that are vying for one position or the other, they take advantage of your strength. They take advantage of your availability. But no, NYSC can change that perspective. You can change that perspective in your different spaces, in your different communities. That's why NYSC is nationwide. In every nook and cranny of Nigeria, you find a core member somewhere. You are being called up to participate in election. If you hold yourself high and know you will not compromise, we'll have a better nation. We'll have a better result at the end of the day. And you have all the tools. The Nigerian youth have a vital role in promoting democratic accountability by using technology to support credible elections, good governance, and sustainable development. Through your digital advocacy, all of you are so fast and vast in your digital technology that you cannot even, no adult person can beat it to the youths, even up to children these days. We need all those your technology to put in place, to be put in place. Civic education, fact-checking, election monitoring, innovation. Young people can demand accountability. It has all been said. I don't want to come and start repeating myself. But what is your role as youths? As youth core members? The elections are coming again. What will be my role? What will be my contribution? That's what you should be asking yourself. Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. As core members, promotes voters' participation, like has been rightly said, in your different spaces. The illiterates, tell them what to do. Encourage them to participate. Educate them on their rights. You are everywhere. So speak to that one person that you see them giving money or whatever to. Speak to them that your rights is your voice, is the decision that will move Nigeria forward. Demand government accountability through digital advocacy. Digital advocacy, like you saw during the NSAS, you were able to use digital means to communicate. You know how to do these things. Use it positively and not against the nation. Use it to build the nation. Develop innovative solutions. These solutions that we have here, they have come up with so many solutions to how we can move ahead. How are you going to move it ahead in your own space? You have to start somewhere with yourself as a youth, and not to be used by those that have even sent their children abroad, or they will not ask their children to comfort. But you, they see you intelligent, they want to use your brain. No, you are more intelligent than that. Don't allow it. Manipulations, don't allow it. Promote digital skills and entrepreneurship among young Nigerians. Encourage the youths in the streets. Those that you see that are vulnerable, encourage them to empower themselves. As youth corps members, we talk about community development. You can take one of them up as your project. Get the person equipped, empower the person with one skill. You know, if the person is busy, he will not be going after whatever during elections. He will know that my vote counts and my decision counts. Use the technology wisely for education, agriculture, any field you find yourself. Use that technology to drive it. Your own little contribution can turn around the situation in our nation, Nigeria. You can build responsible leadership by encouraging integrity, participation, and civic responsibility. I would like to close that we should embrace technology not merely as a tool of modernization, but as an instrument for transparency, participation, accountability, and national transformation. I want to wish you all the best, and may the best contestant win. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together for Mrs. Grace Oshaw, the Assistant Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, NYSC Lagos State, and she's here representing the state coordinator. Thank you very much, madam. God bless you real good. Right about now, it's not yet time for results. I'll be inviting the General Secretary, CEO of the Bible Society of Nigeria to give us the BSN and you.
Thank you very much. Yes, how many of you know about Bible Society of Nigeria? Core members. Okay, my sister, what do you know about us? Let's start from there. You will tell us what Bible Society is.
Good day, everyone. Yes, Bible Society of Nigeria. When I was in secondary school, I went to missionary school. So they normally come to our school to give us this small Bible. Then, yes, that's the first contact that I have about Bible Society. Then my dad is also part of Bible Society of Nigeria. So I know it's a Christian organization where...
Okay, applaud the same, madam. Then, just one more person because of time. Who want to tell us better? So that means you don't know about Bible Society. Oh, I should cover my face. Okay, my brother there.
Hello, everyone. So, Bible Society, I think they make the Bible available and affordable for everyone. And they translate the Bible to different languages. Thank you.
Okay, can you clap him? Thank you very much. That is why we're here. This is one of the avenues to let you know what Bible Society is. My sister had an idea, but he has given us a misplacement. So the Bible Society of Nigeria is different from the Gideon International. The one that gave you the Bible in primary school, secondary school, all those New Testament, is actually the Gideon's International. So we are both in the business of Bible, but from different perspective. Why the Gideon International is headquartered in the United States of America, And all they do up to today is to ensure that the primary assignment was actually for them to place the Bible in hotels. So when you lodge in a hotel, you have a Bible to read. That was where they started from. Then later, they metamorphosed into going to schools, military base, hospitals, and all that. And everything they do is for free. But the question I will ask, whatever is free, what has happened? Somebody has paid for it. So we are praying that a time will come that the Bible to the south of Nigeria will also be able to go to schools, hospitals, everywhere, and give Bible for free. Because every day I receive requests. I'm going for evangelism. BSN, give me 1,000 Bibles. But nobody is sponsoring BSN. Nobody is giving me money. So everything we do in BSN, we pay for it. So we only depend on benevolence of well-meaning Nigerian Christians who understand the passion and are giving us a level of support to be able to do what we do. So like my brother said, Bible Society does 5 basic things. Number 1, if you have ever seen a Yoruba Bible, an Igbo Bible, or Hausa Bible, or Efik Bible, and all those local language Bibles, it is the work of Bible Society of Nigeria. For the Gideon, they don't do local language, national local language. If you see another language Bible from the Gideon International, is global languages like English, Arabic, French, Spanish, you have, but in local national languages, they don't do it. So we do it. And to translate the Bible into a Nigerian language as of today will cost us not less than 150 million naira only. So when you see the Bible, it's a lot, just like the phone we use, before it became usable in your hand, so many work has been done at the back end. So it takes that much and not less than 8 years, even with the advent of AI or computer or technology. Because there's so many legwork, physical work that has to still be done for the language speaker to understand what we are doing and for them to accept it. So after we translate for that much, we now go for publishing. After publishing, we distribute. Still at that, in our distribution, there are 3 things you must know. We still do free distribution. But our free distribution is not in hotel, because by the movement of Bible Society, if you can afford to go to a hotel to lodge, you have money you can use to contribute to the production of the Bible. But we go to interland, prisons, people in IDP, and all those in special situations, we also give them the Bible for free. We also produce the Bible for free for the blind people, the Braille Bible. So if you complain that this Bible I give to you at 5,000 is expensive, to get a complete set of Braille Bible is 70,000 naira only. Should a blind man buy the Bible? The answer is no. So Bible Society gives to them for free. Also, we have a center in Ibadan where we are translating the Bible into the Nigerian Sign Language for the deaf community. Research shows that there are more than 10 million Nigerians that are hard of hearing or hearing impaired. The question is, do they need the word of God? The answer is yes. And that is what Bible Society does to ensure that we have the Bible also for the hearing impaired people. And it's also created employment for about 9 people in Ibadan. 7 completely deaf and dumb, with 2 interpreters who will interpret for you and I when we go there. So that's our distribution. Of course, the one we gave out at a cost, we gave it out at a cost because government has not given me, say, don't pay anything on Bible. Even when I brought my Bible from overseas, I still pay custom duty. You pay insurance. You go to the filling station to buy fuel. They will not say, what are you carrying, Bible? Okay, take fuel for free. You understand? So that is why we place a price on the one we distribute, but even at that, very highly subsidized. And it's been subsidized because we have everyone who believe in what we do giving us a level of support. Thirdly, we raise fund. Fourthly, we raise fund. So, and fundraising can come from anybody. If you believe in what we do, at the back of the program booklet, it is stated there that you can support what we do in Bible Society. Lastly, we run programs. We have more than 15 programs we run as our corporate social responsibility. This is just one of them, to ensure that we empower young people young graduates to also help you to discuss on national development. So NYSC is one of our very many programs we run to ensure that people engage with the Bible. And you'll agree with me that these finalists, if they did not mention Bible in their submission, that's already minus mark for them. That's why you see them relating whatever we're talking today and giving it a biblical base to show that what does the Bible have to say. So in them coming to come and present, they have studied the Bible. And that's our goal, to ensure that people engage with the Bible. So this is what we do in Bible Society. And if you want to know more about us, visit our website. It contains a lot. And if you want God to use you to support whatever we do, you can, as little as 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, you can support. The account numbers are there. And of course, as you grow and become big madam, maybe one of you become a governor one day, or Nigerian president tomorrow, and when you hear Bible Society, you know that this organization has imparted me. It is time for me to give back. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Samuel Sanusi, the General Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Bible Society of Nigeria. Can we please put our hands together for him one more time? Please, let's appreciate him. All right, he said something that I found very instructive, and I just want to highlight it. That the finalists, if you listen to them keenly, referred to the Bible. And the purpose of this program is to let everyone know that the Bible is more than just a mere religious book that you just, chant for religious purposes. It contains in it problem-solving guidelines. It's somebody described it as basic instruction before leaving earth. Okay, so you can chart a course for your life through the Bible. You only need to read it with open heart. Like one of my people there who is reading with IT heart. Okay? If you go there, you'll find agriculture. There is no course on earth you're studying that does not have basis in the scripture. Even if you want to go into corruption, you'll find where the Bible tells you not to go into it. All right. Before we go to announce the result, I have one more question. Somebody hissed at my question. I heard where the hiss come from. I will not pick you, even if you raise your hand. Because the question is simple. It's low-hanging fruit. But because you hiss, I will not pick you. And the question is very simple. Okay, lest I forget, Bible Society of Nigeria, the website is biblesociety-nigeria.org. Okay, so check it out. What are the core functions of the Bible Society of Nigeria? Yes, I need a hand now. Yes. Bro, no, nah. I ask you. No, nah. Let this thing go round. Let it go round. Yes. I don't need you to mention everything. No. If you can give me 5 correctly. Did I say 5? If you can give me 3 correctly. Yes. No hand. Okay, my sister, come. Yes, come now. I say we one man need that. Oh yeah. Come. Tell us your name and give us at least 3 out of the. I need 3. If 3 is the minimum required standard. Okay? Marks obtainable. 3. Yes, 60%. Okay, I saw a hand here. Yes, please come. At least 3. And I mean 3 correct answers. Your name and 3 functions of the BSN.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Odele David. And the three functions of the Bible Society of Nigeria is one, they help to translate the Bible to different languages in Nigeria here. Number two, they also help to support by giving out Bibles to those that are less privileged, that is the blind, those that are in prison. And then number three, they organize programs so that as to reach more people and to help people to understand the Bible and to come in accomplice with the Bible.
Wait, so don't go. Your name again? Okay. Some people are clapping. Are you the examiner? You want to take over my job? All right. You've only scored 2 out of the 3 that is expected. I need someone who can beat this record. Another person is, I saw you, by the shape of your mouth, you shall know them. Yes. Okay, David, it is distribution. Okay, we'll call it distribution. All right, let's put our hands together for him. It goes on with the prize. Since every other person is, no other person is responded. Okay. Right about now, I want to invite Professor Michael Kunoji, as he comes to the microphone to announce the results of today's symposium. Shall we put our hands together for Professor Michael Kunoji? It's about to go down.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So I will share some comments about the presentations made. I am not sure that we have the full result. We have our own scores, which is a collation of how the 3 panelists scored the participants. But we know that this competition is bigger than just today's presentation. Okay, but I'll go straight to the general comments. First, we'd like to congratulate the participants. Like we told them in the morning, everybody here is a winner. But there are a number of things you want to work on. And the first one is that subject-verb agreement. So we're taking you back to O-level English. And almost everyone has that issue. So you will not say the core members knows. If your subject, that is if the doer of the action is plural, if it carries an S, the verb cannot carry an S. And that's a major, I don't know whether it's a generational issue, whether that's the new norm. But in our days, it was a crime. And that rule of grammar has not changed. And so we should give attention to that when we are speaking. Subject-verb agreement. You may want to read about that and practice. If you do anything near public speaking, that's something you can't afford to get wrong. So that's the first one. The second thing is on diction. So for public speaking, you'll need to be very intentional about how you pronounce your words. else you will confuse people. When you should say heat and you say eat, then you are creating a problem because people won't understand what you're talking about. And I tell you, there is, in fact, I had this experience recently. Someone was making a presentation and she kept saying that the boys eat the girls. I don't know what sense that makes to you. It just takes the mind of the listener to cannibalism, that the boys are feeding on the girls. The person meant to say heat. Okay, so those are little things. Today, for instance, I heard divine in place of define. Are those words the same? Those are different words. Okay? And if you use the wrong one, you just confuse the listener. Another thing is we need to resist the temptation to drift. If you're making a presentation, just like you do when you're writing, you need to constantly go back to the title or to the question you're trying to answer so that you can stay focused. That's a major problem that we observed. And another one is the way we applied our biblical principles. The application of, so for many of us, we just left the application of biblical principles at, we left it for the very end. It's like an afterthought. You have done your presentation and then something tells you, oh, I am yet to apply those principles, and then you just sprinkle one or two verses. But that approach itself is a flawed approach. It's better that you, all through your presentation, show how scriptural principles apply as you make your presentation. So these are some of the observations. And like I said, everyone is a winner. And we hope that you can learn from this and become better people. Thank you.
All right, so right about now, the RF portal has been updated and everything is set. So we'll get to know who comes where now. So, sir, you have an unfinished business. Over to you.
To announce?
Yes, to announce. So this is
Starting from this. Okay.
Each mark for mark.
Do we need to give the breakdown or we should just give the total?
I'll give the total.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon once again. So like I said, we simply scored today's presentation, but
Nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh, I believe. So please rise.
Your time as well. And sorry, where's that? Yeah. Thank you so much. The LGI coordinator, that Mrs. Ojimi. Thank you very much. We appreciate. Our dear panelists, Professor Michael Kunuji, thank you so very much. And my dear sister, the doctor herself, I give you 3 gosa. You see, but there is a Benjin kind of display here, because when they were calling the men, there was not much of a shout. The moment that lady came on board, Wow. Well, it's good. You support your own. I support my brothers too. I give you 3 gosa, 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 gosa for you. Men, can you say 3 gosa for our boys? You are not even sure. You are not even sure. Okay, let the girls give 3 gosa to our sister again. You see, they voted you out, all the men. And then Mr. Gokele Somi, a veteran journalist, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you for your support. The entire management team, you are amazing, 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 amazing. Mr. Lokiogu, Mr. Okoro, my employer, before you will relocate my office, I dove my capo, Mr. Patrick Awakawa, and my dearest sister, PA, thank you. And where's Mrs. Grace Benjamin, the lioness herself? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much. And all the officiating ministers, or let me say officiating colleagues, thank you so very much. And most importantly, the most important persons here. Oh, I've not even appreciated my brother. Hello. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you, sir. The core members, if you are not here, we wouldn't have been able to do anything. Please put your hands together for yourself. You are global champions. The world is waiting for your manifestation, and your manifestation starts from now, and devil cannot stop it. God bless you. We wish you safe trip back to your different destinations, and we trust to see. Please tell your colleagues that it's happening again next year. They should participate. God bless you all.
Shall we please rise? Please, one more very vital and important announcement before we take the closing prayer, which will be handled by the LGI, Mrs.